Hello students, a very good morning to all of you. Today in this module I have explained the topic of our one of the important topic in our Indian Constitution, that is Preamble of India. As in your previous class you already get some idea about this topic, that Preamble of India, what is Preamble and what are the keys of the preamble, and we have to explain of that. So let's see that what are the topics we have covered in this module. So right now we will start our module along with one picture of preamble, which I think you all have seen in front of your NCERT books, or in the first page of your NCERT books, or in your civics books also. So let's start with the topic Preamble of India. See, in this picture, from this picture I hope you get an idea about how our preamble looks like. Here the highlighted points in this picture, all the highlighted words, that is very much important, and that highlighted word is known as the keys of the preamble. Before we go through with this highlighted point, we have to know that what is preamble. From your previous class you already get an idea about the preamble. Preamble is nothing but one kind of draft which is adopted in our Indian Constitution, so that our Constitution should get a proper a proper kind of guidelines or proper kind of structure. See, whenever you are creating, or you are that you are collecting any or jot down any topics in any project, you all the time you are doing the index, and in that index you all are just write down the page numbers, date, along with the topic name only. Why you are doing this kind of things? See, from the index it is very much suitable, or it is very much easiest way to find out that in which page, in which topic we have written, or in which page what kind of topics is there. So we are not writing down in an index in a full manner, just we write down the important keys of that topic which included in the index, so that we get an idea about that on which page what kind of things we have written, or what is we have in that page. So its preamble is just like that. It is one kind of draft which is made by the Constituent Assembly before making the Constitution, and here they jot down that our Constitution is look like in which shape, or it is in how much kind of what are the keys we should follow in our Indian Constitution, and which is very much important. So from this I hope from this picture you get and understand that what kind of things is that. That is we the people of India having solemnly resolved to the Constitution India into a sovereign, socially secular, democratic republic, and to serve all the citizen this justice upon what? Liberty, equality, fraternity. And in our Constitutional Assembly we all know that on 26th November 1949 do we hereby adopt our Constitution and give ourselves as this Constitution. So basically we can say that Constitution that it is the 26th November 1949 is also known as the Constitutional Day, and we also adopted some of the keys which is very much important for making the Constitution. So let's start the explanations about this, all the highlighted points. Now we have to know the keys of the preamble in a descriptive way. The first one is that we the people of India. From this, I hope from this heading, that we, that means you, I, the rest of the peoples of the society, the people of India, we all are the people of India. How we can say that? You all know that our Constitution has been drawn by and enacted by the people through the representatives. We all know that our democratic India is a representative democracy, where all the peoples are choosing their representatives, and their representatives are making the government. So basically peoples choose the peoples are not choosing the government. Basically the peoples are choosing their leaders or their representatives, and their representatives are that they are creating the government, or they are choosing the prime minister or president, like that. So basically we can say that we the people of India, why it is say that, because in our constitution we all are that are gathering and to choose our representative, and not handed down to them by the king or the outside power. All the peoples, they are choosing their representative, and that representatives are making the government. We are not gathering and take the power and give it to any king or to the outside power. That's why we say that we are the people of India, as because we are choosing our representatives, and that representatives is creating the government. So indirectly we as a people of India are creating the government without giving any power to the outside that the government or the king. So for that reason we said we are the people of India. So in our constitution, people, the word people is very much important, you all know that, as because in democracy the people is all in all. So for that reason we can say that we the people of India, as a citizen of India, is very much important, and the constitution are always take care about this percentage, or you can say about these areas, that is where the peoples are situated. Okay, next one is saying that sovereignty or sovereign. Now what is sovereign means? Sovereign means it is one kind of right, or it is one kind of that power on which basis the government of any country, they can able to take the decision for their internal matters also, as well as for the external matters. So our country is a sovereign country, as because our Indian government, they have the power to take the decision regarding their internal all the states, or regarding their outside of the countries. That's why it is said that people have the supreme right to make decision on internal as well as external matters. No external power can detect the government of India. See, I give you two examples. As as I am living in West Bengal, so if suppose there are some issues arises in West Bengal, any kind of issues or any kind of matters arises in our West Bengal, so there's a two powers are there who can sort out this, or who can take the decision. First one is that the government of India, as because the West Bengal come under India as a state. So for that reason, by this way, the Indian government or the central government have the power to take the decision, as well as the state government also have the power to take the decision. So it is an internal matter. So state government as well as the central government both have the power to take the decision. Now suppose there was another situation that you all know that nowadays there's a the problem arises with the China in the border of the Ladakh in that side. So there's this problem which is arises with the China. It is external matter. It is not about any particular Ladakh matter or particular any states Uttarakhand matter, but or in that areas, but it is a matter of the external one, that is the it is a matter of the others country. So in that case, if you think about this situation, so you get an idea that in this matter only the central government have the power to take the to take the decisions regarding this matter, but the Uttarakhand or the Ladakh, their state government, they don't have any power to take care of this kind of area situation, or any particular state government, they don't have the right to take care of that. Why? Because they are not the government of any particular country, they are the government of a particular state, a particular place. So that's why we can say that sovereign means where the government have the power that they will take a decision on the matter of internal issues as well as the external issues, and no one outside of the government. Means if now suppose the USA are dictating that India should do this kind of things, India should do that, did that kind of things, or they should be keeping their armies away from that border. So no other government can dictate our country's that government, that how they will be reacted for their external issues. So basically we can say that the government of India or any government who have the power to take care of their internal as well as the external issues, they are known as sovereign. And now one more thing, it is given in the definition that people have the supreme right. Why it is said that? You all know that indirectly people have all are connected with every constitutional rights and the clauses. As we all know that our people, they are choose or they are elected our representative, and that representatives makes our government. So indirectly, if the government choose or if the government take the decision as internal as well as external, so indirectly we choose our government or we choose our representatives. So people have the right to choose their that to take participate in the decision matter about the internal as well as the external one. Now come to the next, that is the third point, socialist. So what socialist meant? Socialist meant it is a wealth is generated socially should be shared equally by the society. Government should regulate the ownership of land and industry to reduce socio-economic inequalities. See, if you observe our society, you can see that in our society, many areas, practically, some peoples who are very rich in manner, they have all kind of resources, monies, properties, everything, and a group of section who don't have this kind of resources, so they are come under privilege. So if this kind of gapping between rich and poor, it will be increased, then we cannot say that our country is a socialist one. Okay, because socialist means when we are doing any welfareness for the society, that is socialist, where the wealth or the resources should be equally distributed among all the peoples, and this is only happen when the government, they take control over the land, over the resources, over the industry, and they can distribute it equally to the citizens, or the resources should be equally distributed. In that manner only it will be happen. So socialist means when the wealth or when the resources are equally distributed among the people, and that is known as socialist. So our constitution also adopted, or preamble is adopted this keys, so that our country should not be that it will be increases the gap between rich and poor people, so that everyone get the equal resources. Next one, secular. See, this is a very common word. I hope that as because in many of you are known about this one, they are that very much used to with this word, as because secular means in any country where all the cities, all the religions, they get equal status. Not a particular religion is declared as an official religion, or not a particular religion is treated as a favorable one or as a special get a special treatment. All the religion in that particular country should get equal respect, equal treatment, and they all have the freedom to practices and promoted any religion and can follow any religion. All the peoples have free, or all the citizens are free to follow any religions, because secularism means where not a particular one religion get official status or get an national or official religion matter. All the religions are equal and get a respect, and not a particular religion are partial or get favorism, or they are treated special in a special manner. So this is called about the secularism, and this is very much needed in our country, as we all know that we as an Indian citizen, we have so many diversified peoples in our surroundings, as all the peoples are not equal to each other. They have a different lifestyle, different caste, different religion, language, food habit, dress, everything we have a different in our surroundings. So in that situation, it is very much needed that we should, where we have a different kinds of religion like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, different kinds of religion in that country, especially this keys should adopted, and we already had adopted this one in our preamble and also constitution. That's why you all know that we get a fundamental rights, that is the right to freedom of religion, where all the religions citizens are free to follow this one. Now come to the next one, democracy. You all get from class 6 onwards, whenever you have an idea about the civics, you get this word democracy or democratic, which means that a government, or it is a one form of government where all the peoples, they have a equal political rights, they have a equal social rights, they have a equal civil rights, where they choose their leaders, where they can hold the power under which the government is accountable, the government is answerable in front of the people. So the government is, we all know that in a democratic country, the government is running the country, but that government is run by the, or is operated by the people. As the people choose their leaders, as the peoples are elect their leaders, or they have the right also to dismiss their government if the government are not doing this that proper work. So basically you can understand that democratic means that a form of government where the people have the right to elect their representatives, and the peoples is have their equal rights, whether it's a political field, whether it's a civil society, economical one. And as well as not only that, the people is also have the right to get the answer or to get the information what they want from the government, as in a democratic government is accountable towards the citizens. Next one is republic. Republic is nothing but it is a keys of, it is the important key of the people preamble, as because we all know that we are choosing our government, or we are elected our government. It is not like that through the heritage, like just like a monarch, that the king's son is always become a king, or the prince will become the king, and it is going on with a hereditary basis. This is not the thing. The head of the state, or the head of the country, should be based on the elected basis, not along with the hereditary basis. Justice. Justice is very important in our everyone's life, because if you are living in a society where discrimination is going on the basis of the caste, on the basis of the religion, on the basis of gender, then we can say that that society cannot be improved, cannot be developed in a very good manner. As because whenever citizens are living in a society, and that society is based on the diversified society where different kinds of castes, different kinds of peoples are there, so in that society the government should work for the welfare of all. Government cannot be taking the favor upon or towards, or cannot be treated any one particular community as a special one. So the government should be, that they should be treated everyone in an equal manner, and especially they have to work upon the disadvantaged groups, or the groups or the section who are very backward, so that they will become to the forward, and they can also do the compete, or they can also get a privileges what the others peoples get, like a resources or the wealth. So for that reason, the justice means where the citizens are not, or they cannot be discriminated on the basis of their religion, on the basis of their ground, on the basis of their caste, gender, and they get the government distributed the resources in an equal manner and work for everyone's welfareness, and as well as especially take care about the people, those who are backward, and give them a situation or privileges, so that they will come to forward and get a equal respected what the others people get. And as well as where the government that reduces the inequalities from the society. So this is known as the justice. Liberty. Liberty means freedom. Now, what kind of freedom we are expecting from our constitution? The freedom to speak and that the freedom to speak anything, the freedom to express our viewpoint without any worry, without any afraid. So that is known as freedom. So here it is said that there are no unreasonable restrictions on the citizens and what they think, how they wish to express their thoughts, and the way they wish to follow up their thoughts in action. That's absolutely correct, that in liberty means freedom of we get as a citizen of India where we are living. We need some kind of freedom without any unreasonable restrictions, so that we can express our viewpoint, we can think or we can take a decision on behalf of us. We can follow the rituals, customs, or the that the ideologies in which we are believe. And also, and not only that, we need the freedom so that we follow up our thoughts. We can speak whatever we want to, that we want to express in front of anyone. So this is about the liberty. So freedom to speak anything, freedom to think anything, freedom to express our viewpoint, freedom to follow any ideology what we want to be. So that is known as freedom and liberty, and which is adopted by our our preamble. Next one is that equality. It is very much important, because from our previous keys you get an idea that equality, equal manner, equal treatment is very much needed. So all are equal before the law. See, you all get already have an idea about the fundamental rights. So in under the first fundamental right, it is that right to equality, where we are all equal in the eye of the law. And in traditional social inequalities which have been ended from our society, where the discrimination is going on, where the untouchability types of evil practices is that untouchability that is practices in our society, that is totally removed from our society, as because we are wanted, we are somehow reduces our inequalities from our society by removing this kind of evil practices. And the government should ensure that everyone in our society get at least an equal amount of opportunity, so that they can flourish, they can improve their standard of living. Next one is fraternity, and that is the last word of the last key of the preamble. Now, what is fraternity? Fraternity simply means a brotherhood. All of us should behave as we are a member of the same family. No one should treat a fellow citizen inferior. See, we always say that India is a country, and all the Indians are my brothers and sisters, right? This pledge we always knew, and in many schools, these pledges they are taking oath during the time of the assemblies, that India is my country and all Indians are brothers and sisters. Why they are saying this kind of things? As because India is a country where we live just like a family. So if you are living in a family, maybe in a family there's a different kinds of people are living. That some peoples are very good in study, some people one child may be good in study, one child is good in sports, someone is good in cooking. So different kinds of people are living, and they are living in a family. So in our family, if you see in your own family also, you can find out that your mother have some different kinds of features, or they have different kind of good qualities, where your father is another type of good qualities, you have another type of good qualities. So in your family, each and every member, they have a different types of qualities in them. Not all the members have equal kinds of qualities. So that does not mean that if your brother or sister, they are not good in study, so you will be just ignoring that your sister and brother. That's not happen, I hope so. So when you in your family, when you are you're gathering or you are neglecting all the bad qualities, and you cannot be ignoring your siblings or ignoring anyone from your family, whether they have a good or brilliant, or they have a normal people. Similarly, in the same way, as a country citizen, where we are living in a country which is just like our family, so we should not be treat any citizens as an inferior, as a neglected one, because all the citizens are the members of our country. So fraternity means brotherhood, and our preamble are taking these key features or the keys and adopted this fraternity, as because so that we all the peoples of Indian citizens are living togetherly in a very peaceful manner, by accepting everyone's disadvantage and advantages, and should not be treated anyone as a neglected or ignorant person. So we should be live in a country just like a family, and we should be created the brotherhood relationship with each and everyone. And this is all about the preamble. I hope you all understand about this preamble and its key keys of the preamble, because if you does not clear the keys of the preamble, then you cannot be that understand the preamble. So by this all keys, our preamble that was adopted by our Constituent Assembly, and it is followed in our constitution, so that all the peoples of any countries, they will understand that what are the features or what are the keys we are following as an Indian people or as an Indian constitution. So I hope you all clear about this one, and it is very much clear to you. In your NCERT book, it's this picture also given, and along with this picture all the definition also created. So as a student of civics, you should be remember these all the preambles along with all the key features and its total one. So I hope you will be able to memorize this preamble in a very good manner, so that it will be easier for you during the time of the examination, along with all the definition, all the meanings of the keys of preamble. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you all clear. Thank you so much.